It's a snow day. I really wanted to take the camera over there and show you how deep it is. I was out there shoveling and was hoping to shovel the snow before everybody left because I noticed it was snowing when I got up. But when I got up, I got my stuff on. The snow got to my knees. I've I've never seen the snow this high. Really, it's not really that high. It's because the area where the door is, it's like the corner. So the snow kind of accumulated there to about, I don't know how many feet that is, maybe three feet high. So when you open the door, there's a barricade of snow there. So anyway, I shoveled for about 45 minutes and I realized I need proper gloves. I have like these cute gloves, but I need like those proper gloves. And it's beautiful, but everyone who's planning to go to work today are not gone. Everyone's at the house right now. Everyone's, which means I'm not driving anywhere, and I probably wouldn't have driven anywhere anyway. So this is what happened. Like, okay, so since we're chilling, a lot of us are going to be home today. I don't know what it's going to look like in a little bit, but suppose it's going to snow for a few days. So this is what's been going on. Someone had asked me about something about talking about what's happening in the globe, and then I started to the Lord. Good grand rising, beloved. Shalom. Okay, so then it kind of like, I wanted to make sure that you all know the purpose of why I share my journey. Everyone needs to know the significance of my channel, this channel. And so I did that yesterday. Me sharing my journey and the warfare of my life and me learning what I'm learning has significance for a lot of people. And I didn't even want to come to that, like, place to have to say that, because I feel like I'm a nobody. Like, I feel like I'm just like anybody else, and I really am. It's just that everyone has a different role to play. And as much as people see that people have been able to tap into my life, do readings or whatever, and find out what the calling of my life is, and in that space, in their headspace, they feel jealous and they want this and they want that, and not knowing what I went through when I didn't even know who I was, the hardships and the loss and the manipulation and the ridicule and the all the things I went through. So this came with a price. Whatever is coming, whatever is coming with a price. That being said, I used to always say that my enemies, vengeance is the Lord's, he will repay. I used to always say that. And I always used to say that may not know how it would go down. I may not even see it go down. But all I know is that my Lord does not play with me. And he's made that very clear to me. I used to say that, but now I'm seeing that a lot of things that have happened to people who have done things to me have been because they've done things to me. And they know it. But now I know it too. Okay, that being said, the reason why I wanted to come on, I'm supposed to be shoveling right now, but I think I need to take a break. It's gonna take a few hours to clear the snow, and it's still snowing. I just didn't want it to get too ridiculous, but because it's snowing so heavy, I think I should just not fight it and just wait. Anyway, so in the end, during the harvest, it's gonna be a harvest of souls. There's gonna be a harvest of souls on the earth. And I know everyone's enamored with getting things. And this has been the plan of the enemy all along, that people will be so enamored with, because we have technology now, we can see celebrities, their lifestyle, what they have, what they do, not even realizing the things that go on behind the scenes, how they accomplish what they accomplish and how they gain what they gain. Everyone's just enamored with the lifestyle. They don't even know what they do to get it. So everyone's right now rushing around trying to get a lifestyle that they see online, you know, whether they do it because they know they have gifts, or they do it because they know they have knowledge about how to get these things that they want. But all of that, everything that everyone's trying to accomplish and get is going to come to an end. All that everyone's trying to accomplish, these big houses, big cars, acknowledgement, all kinds of foolishness, is all going to come to an end, because we are at the end of the age. We are at the end of the age. They are telling you this. There's many ways to research this. I keep talking about smart cities. And I may have to do a separate video on this. A side note, when I do these lives, I do these lives because when I upload videos to this platform, they end up being choppy or whatever else, like extremely messed with by the platform. When I upload a live, sometimes it takes like 6 hours. Like I could do it now, and at 4 o'clock this afternoon, it still hasn't uploaded yet. And when I upload it, I find that the volume is sometimes like echoey. It's not as clear, like as I'm seeing it now. And when I record a video on the phone by itself without uploading it to the platform, it's very clear. Once I upload it to the platform, it's obviously been tampered with. So this platform isn't obviously not for anyone who's a part of the collective, the group that the Lord is using at the times that's coming. There's a lot of us. I've discovered quite a few of us. And there's still more coming into the fold because Lord has a plan for the collective, the group of people that he's going to use to harvest souls. Okay. I don't know how that's going to look. All I know is that the Lord has taught me to eat a certain way and to keep my body healthy and to debunk all the theories about health, about sickness, about what makes us sick, about what keeps us healthy. Okay, so on that note, I woke up this morning because I keep my phone by me and I shouldn't. I should lock it down and put it away. But because I'm so hungry for knowledge and information and there's so much I don't know yet, so much I want to know, I keep my phone by me. But lately I've been turning it off but having it by me. And when I get up to either go to the washroom or something, I'll turn it on and I'll play something. And I recently I made a statement online, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about how all that we are seeing in the media is all orchestrated to get us to think a certain way. And I also talked about the previous prophecies. I talked about the chemtrails and how they are filling the skies with chemicals that they're microscopic. They're very small, so they float almost like dew or mist or steam. So when they use the planes to put them in the sky, you'll see strips of smoke or whatever chemicals in the sky, and it disperses and it becomes these unusual looking clouds. That's not naturally how clouds are. Now, they are now, and when I did that, my channel's actually been striked and now having to redeem itself because of the statements that I had made about all this stuff. But now people in positions of of knowledge that know this information for sure are making these statements publicly. I don't know why they're doing it now, but they are doing it now. No, doesn't matter whether they're doing it now or not. My channel was struck before, had strikes, and was demonetized because of the statements I was making. It doesn't matter because God allowed it. God wants the glory in my life. So it doesn't matter what they decide to do, but I'm going to always speak truth. Now, in relations to the medical field, the doctors, there's a doctor that made a statement, and I'm going to try and put the link to this in the description of this live. He said that the medical field is not trying to heal us. The medical field needs us unwell. That we are not meant to keep eating and eating, that our bodies are meant to heal itself. Haven't I been saying this to you guys? That people have done a 40-day fast and healed all kinds of stuff. This is exactly my life. This is exactly what I've been sharing with you. But for whatever reason, the Lord is exposing these truths in this hour. That should tell you something significant is about to happen. We are not designed to keep eating and eating and eating. And if you think about before this whole society came to be, all this thing we call advanced living, how we are accessing food when we want, snacking all the time. People used to have to eat when they found food. People had to eat when they were able to get out and get food. The food wasn't just able to, you weren't able to Uber food in, right? You ate when it was available, and people didn't die from that. Sometimes people went for days without food because they didn't have access to it. So this idea of thinking that we are eating in the morning, then we eat again at lunch, and then we eat again at dinner. Our bodies are not designed to do that. Our bodies are designed to digest and then to repair itself. I told you well, I'm going to tell you now, just in case this is the first time you know what? For first time meeting me or seeing me, my name is Deborah. This is You Are Made Marvelously, and I've been called to do this channel. That's all I can really say. I was called to do this channel to represent women who were children of God, who had a born again experience, and to convey how a woman would, once they're born again, how they would be living according to God's expectations. I'm not even going to say God's word, because I was led to the Lord without the word. I didn't know all the word when the Lord drew me. When I had my born again experience, it was strictly through feeling. I could feel him, the warmth, and the warmth. It was like, this sweater is so cozy. It was like just someone hugged me, and it was just so beautiful. And from that day on, my life never changed. But he was always there with me. Even before I had that experience, I was an oddball. I was never one to fit in, and I was okay with it, but I still had to live. So I was always in a position where people found me odd, and I was okay with being odd, because I'd rather be odd than be what they were, if you understand that. I didn't want to be what they were. That being said, though, I didn't present as what I'm like. So I look like, I don't know, people have different names for me. Like, I might be promiscuous, or I might be a baddie, or I might be a this, and I might be a that, but I am not that. That being said, though, I believe that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to be what I am. I like what I am. I think it's a good thing in relations to a marriage, to be up to be appealing to your partner, but at the same time have integrity of character, to want to do good by people, to not necessarily need to have stuff, to know how to sacrifice if the need comes, that there's the money, the funds aren't there to have the Chanel bag. You don't need to have the Chanel bag. There are people walking out here feeling entitled based on just nothing, and it's absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Anyway, I'm ranting. Holistically, my channel is basically me sharing my life and my journey to what God has called me to do. Now, so the thing about the medical field, we are not designed to take in the food that we're taking it in. And the knowledge about that is spreading. So people are doing 1 day of meals, like eating once a day. Dr. Berg is one of the ones. Dr. Sabi is another doctor who started talking outside the box. And I know Dr. Berg was his theories have been kind of like challenged at some points. And Dr. Sabi was taken out. He was taken out for sure. He was set up and put in a jail, and his life was taken because they don't want people to hear this. And what I'm going to say about that is this. If you are used by God for something, but you don't know you're being used by God for something, sometimes the Lord will use you, but if you're not serving him, he can't necessarily protect you. This is what I'm thinking right now, because I serve him. I know he's real. I know that he protects me, provides me. I know that miraculous things have happened all around me. So I have a conscious knowledge that he exists, and I serve him, right? So there's been many attacks on my life. There's been many attempts to take my life, okay? But because I acknowledge him, because I believe, our mindset is very important. I believe that I was created. I believe that I was provided for by our Heavenly Father, whether through people or through circumstances or through miracles. And I believe I'm protected. I believe that I have angels. I believe that I have ancestors that look out for me. I believe that. I know this. Okay. The church is not preaching what they're supposed to be preaching, and the Lord is going to deal with them as well. I'm not too sure what's going to come out in the media with that, but I know the channel, the Masters of Voice Celestial, has been talking about all these things. Okay. And I put that in the description. I might have to put her channel description or her channel link in every live I do, because everyone needs to know to go to her channel and check out what she's saying. You need to hear what she's saying. It's important. In relation to the political scheme, someone from the U.S. political party came online and made a statement saying that Mr. Trump is out of control, and he apologized to all these different countries who have been disrespected by him, and that they don't know what to do, and that that the populists in the U.S. have put him in power, and that they can't do anything about that while he's in there. So just so you know, I talked about this. Celestial talked about it as well. Mr. Trump has put himself in a position where people don't have, it would not hurt anyone's feelings if he was removed, if you know what I mean. And there's people who are unhinged right now that could make that a thing. I'm just letting you know. Because I just wanted, because I had this idea that I'm sharing all this stuff. Sometimes I'll share personal things that happen, but it all is encompassed, it's all together, because you need to know what it's going to be like to live a life of for God, truly. All right, it's not about Chanel bags, going to church in your heels and all done up, although I've done that. And it's not about the suits, it's not about the big cars, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have those things. I'm not saying you should live like a pauper, but there is a purpose and a plan for the kingdom. And the more you pour into people, the more you exemplify Christ, the more you love on each other, the more the Lord can use you, because he is love. The Bible talks about, is it 1 John, that God is love. Love is patient, love is kind. Love does not seek wrongs. I gotta brush up on my scripture because I am not doing well right now. But you know what? I have felt guilty about that because I used to be so into like sitting down and writing things down. I used to take cue cards and memorize scripture and what part of the Bible they're in. But because of the warfare, and because I know people know how to read minds, and people tele tele yeah, teleport, astral travel, astral project, and all those kind of things. I'm still learning the terms, but I know what it looks like. I stopped reading the word. Plus my eyesight. I'm learning how to figure out how to heal the body without what the world provides. So our teeth can regenerate, our eyes can be repaired, the muscle get weak, so we can exercise our eyes to make them stronger. And what else? The fasting helps to do it all. The problem is that I love food so much that I could have done another like 4-day fast, but I'm just so greedy. I haven't done it. What else? Just want to let you know as well that the Lord had led me to understand that I would have a partner, that I would not be able to go forward without this partner. And that means God ordained marriage. And it's been a process for me. And the Lord has been speaking to me and guiding me in relations to the situation. Some situations can be changed, but my situation, for whatever reason, is kind of set in stone. So it was a union that was designed before our mother's womb. So I'm doing what God called me to do. For whatever reason, the Lord has led me to stay physically fit, to eat healthy, to keep knowledgeable, to pray for my God ordained partner, whatever the situation might be. So I always pray like for my God ordained partner or God ordained husband to be safe, to be protected, to be guided. Whatever is for me is for me. Whatever else. So I've been doing this. I'm being very raw with you right now. I've also separated myself from a lot of people because a lot of people don't understand all this. They are doing witchcraft and they may know about what might be for me, but they don't know why. They're just so enamored with the world. They think they want to live, they want to travel, they want big houses, big cars. It's not about big cars, it's not about big houses. It's about souls. It's about this kingdom, the kingdom of God. It's about souls being saved. That's what it is. This experience that I had, this born again experience I had, changed me completely. Doesn't mean that temptations aren't still out there. It doesn't mean that I'm not a work in progress. I still am a work in progress. I still am evolving and changing. But when I say that I'm not a Christian, I really mean it. I have been born again. And when the Bible talks about in Revelations that he's looking for a bride without spot or wrinkle, this is what he's doing. This is what he's doing to me. This is what he's probably doing to my God ordained partner. This is what he's doing to the collective, the people who have been called for now. He cannot put new wine into old wineskins. The enemy will give you any kind of gift. He'll let you do all kinds of stuff. But our Heavenly Father supersedes all that, even what the enemy does. So if the Lord decides and our angels and protectors decide it's enough, it's enough. But the Lord has done things to me. I've been through a process where my life was turned upside down. I had nobody, just the Lord, to hear, to guide me, to protect me, to feed me, to clothe me. And let me tell you something. No one can, there's not one person that can speak to what I've gone through. It's not an experience that you want. It's not an experience that's pleasant, but when you get through it, you appreciate food, you appreciate love, you appreciate friendships, you love hard. Well, that's me, maybe. Maybe I'm just speaking personally for myself, but my experience has had me appreciate everything. There's nothing. I appreciate air. I appreciate kind people. I appreciate people's appreciation of what I've done. This is what it's done. So for those of you who are hating, I can't stress this enough. You need to stop, because honestly and truly, I'm not going to any more funerals. I don't care who it is. I'm not going to another funeral. And what I'm going to share now is again, if you are a collective, you're part of the collective and you're watching this, you have, or you will find people in your life who will betray you. And it's not because they don't, it may not be because they don't love you. It's because they're enamored with the world. If you are a part of the collective and you're just coming to the fold, your life is not private. You're followed. Your devices are tapped into. People may be on an assignment to intercept your true destiny and will try and derail you, make you think a certain thing, play on your emotions, because if you're a collective, you're probably an empath. You're probably a very kind and a generous person. So you're going to have people coming into your life to pretend something, to pretend that they're for you, pretend that what you're thinking is not right, that something's wrong with your mind. There's nothing wrong with your mind. They're into witchcraft. There's the opposite of witchcraft as well. Okay, they don't want you to, the church is not preaching this, so they can get away with practicing witchcraft all they want. They can pretend that witchcraft is miraculous gifts, and it's not. You have to go into your word or ask God to reveal to you who is who, like he had to do to me. I have family in my life that I thought would go forward with me and that are not. This thing that's happening in the US is very real. This thing that's happening in the US is going to transition into the new world order. It's not a joke. The things that are happening in regards to the smart cities, I'm going to do a little bit of research on this. There's I gotta find out which, and Jamaica for sure has been putting up smart cities. I'm not too sure how they're gonna get people to get there. Well, I know people in Jamaica they love, what they call it, they love to flash. They like to be flashy. They like to look a certain way. They love the Western kind of lifestyle. They're enamored with nice things. I think this is probably all the West Indies. So when they offer this opportunity to go into the smart cities, and this is how it's going to be, just swipe your hand, and you can have what you want, that they will control the funds, but you can just live for free. A lot of people are going to fall for it. A lot of people are going to fall for it because they're enamored with this world. Because usually what the world leaders do is they make it seem as though it's going to be beautiful. They're going to make it seem as though it's going to be wonderful, that they're for you. Look at what they've done so far. Do you really think they're for us? Howdy. Good morning. They're not for us. So they're going to pretend that they're for us, right? But they're not. The people who are in these political positions, the Lord is bringing out ones who have integrity of character and will speak truth and are telling you that this is nonsense, that they are out of control, that what they're doing to the food, they're putting vaccinations into the food, they're putting chemicals in the sky. There's a lot of things that warned us to live a certain way. The Lord foreknew us. He knew this was going to happen. That's why he designed our bodies to rejuvenate and to repair itself by itself. You don't need someone out there to do this. That's a multi-trillion-dollar business, this medical thing that they're doing. It's not even just about money. It's about control. It's about controlling what's happening here. It's about souls, really. This house alone makes the pharmaceutical company a lot of money. I promise you that. I promise you that. And they're so enamored with doing what they think it's like what's it called? Keeping up with the Joneses. Everyone else is doing it, so they're doing it too. Let's see. Oh, I think this is good to read. I'm going to read this, okay, dear? I'm going to read this, okay? I'm so broken about the smart cities in Jamaica. I'm American only by place of birth. My parents are Jamaican and my husband is Jamaican, and it's my roots. Me, girl, me too. Jamaica, because of their people, because of the need for the love of money, because of the love of money, Jamaica's an island compared to the U.S. or wherever else, but there's God has made Jamaica so rich in resources. Not only rich in resources, but the people there are intelligent, they're strong back, and they're resilient. And they've sold all that. The Chinese own a lot of businesses in Jamaica. There's a thing that we call it's called bauxite, I think it's called, and they use it to make these Dutch pots. Supposedly that was the first to go that they sold. Supposedly there's a two alcoholic beverages that are from Jamaica, Ray and Nephew and Red Stripe. Red Stripe? Yeah, Red Stripe. Ray and Nephew's rum, and Red Label is the wine. And supposedly both of them were sold to China. This is what is going on. So at some point during Christmas, last year, when people were looking for wine, not last year, but the year before, when people were looking for wine and rum, it was not easily accessible because it was under someone else's some this is what I'm hearing. Okay, remember, this is gossip now, so it's not wrong. I know they do own it, but I'm not too sure how it went down. It is heartbreaking because but don't be sad. Don't be sad, because this is all a part of the plan. This is all, remember, this new world order thing is a new world order. It's going to look different. It's going to come into place in different ways in different countries, right? It's going to look different in the US. It's going to look different in Jamaica. It's going to look different in Trinidad, Barbados, whatever else. It's going to look different everywhere, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It saddens me because I don't want Jamaica to be too Americanized. We go there to decompress. I hear you. So you go there to decompress and you don't want it to change. All that's happening we can't control. Like greed is really why Jamaica has become what it's become. When Jamaica is very special. It's special. It's so dear to me. And I haven't even been there a lot, but my life is influenced by, because both my parents are Jamaican. My life is, my mom still roasts breadfruit in the oven downstairs, and they have breadfruit, ackee, and saltfish. Everything we eat mostly is West Indian based. This is how I was raised. This is probably the best thing for you, right? It's probably the least tampered with food is from there. Anyway, we can't change. We can't change what God has ordained. We can't get too caught up in being stuck with what is happening, because it's just gonna happen. This is prophecy of fulfilling itself. I'm not too sure exactly what God is going to do. I know that the Lord is providing for his people, for believers. And the church has all these years talked about how the end of the age would look, how people will be hunted and all kinds of stuff. I'm not too sure how it's going to go down. All I know is that the Lord has insisted and made it very clear to me to eat healthy so that he could use my vessel for his purpose. So what I'm doing with my body is not vain. It's not about me wanting to look a certain way, although that's a benefit. It's really helped me. It's about him being able to use my vessel for what he needs to use it for. And that speaks to so clearly to our bodies being just clay and being a vessel that houses spirits, houses either the Holy Spirit or demonic entities. If we're living a life that compromises our like, I don't even want to say this, but anyway, if we're living a life to compromise our bodies, so we're living a life where people can just be on us, if you know what I mean, anybody can, or if we're living a life where we put anything in us, like they advertise all these different fast food places, says it tastes good, it tastes great, and we eat it not knowing what's in it, we're compromising. We need to be conscious about what we're eating, what we're putting in our body, what we're putting on our body. The Lord was doing this with me a long time ago, and it was so hard because most of what was around me was fast food, or the lotions I was using was like full of chemicals. But the Lord has through taking away makeup and taking away perm. I don't perm my hair. My hair is natural. First of all, it's so much easier to get ready. Just hop in the shower, do my whatever, lotions or whatever, and get out the door. Um, but what it's done too is it's been easier just to put on, just find what works for your body and putting it on your body. Find what works for your hair and putting it on your hair. We need to just let go and let God do his thing. I know it hurts that we're losing things that we are used to, but we have to come to grips with, we have a creator that loves us, that's going to, he's going to make, he knows what we need. He knows we need periods of comfort. We need places and opportunities to decompress and to relax. But we have to understand that things are going to change. Things, the Lord has a plan, and when his plan unfolds, we have to make sure our heart is aware that this is a plan that God has, and to let go of whatever he takes away and to welcome whatever he brings. It's so easy to get, stuck on what we're comfortable with, especially when you've come to a place where you think you've earned, you've worked hard and you put things in place where you can go and decompress back home in Jamaica or whatever else. It's not, I wish it could stay that way. Then again, I don't wish, because I don't know what God's plan is. I know his plan, he sees everything and he sees the future, so he knows what's best for us. What's happening it can't be good. Where we're going right now is not good. What's happening in the US, because they are the focal point. What's happening, this nonsense in the US, this show that you see in the US is not good. A lot of eyes are there. Beyond the wars and all the things that are happening, it's not good. Okay? They are mystery Babylon in the Bible. They are going to be the one that's supposedly that's going to be where the Antichrist is going to come from. I've already spoken about Obama and him not being gone, that he's the only president who's had a voice when he was out of his position, that he still had a lot of influence when he was no longer in his position. He's the only one. He's the only one who they keep going to for, to speak and everything else. Everyone's been quiet now. Everyone hasn't been saying much right now, like leaders, but they've had influence and they've been doing things and people are not okay with it. Oh, bless you. I appreciate you. Hey, yes. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining the family and our natural hair. That's why I should touch on that. Since I'm doing a live and we're here chilling, let me just touch on that, okay? When I was growing up, I was made to feel ashamed of my natural hair, my complexion of skin, all that kind of stuff. And I always looked in the mirror and thought to myself, I think I'm okay. I think I'm kind of cute. And I used to get attention, like boys used to flirt with me and whatever, even as a kid. But whatever was going on in the heads of the people in my life that were supposed to be for me, like my parents and such, there was this notion about complexion, about being light skinned, this complexion about having really long hair, flowing hair. And so from then, at that point, from a very young age, I remember when I was like about 6, I remember getting my hair washed and putting a towel on my head and pretending it was blonde and or whatever, and just going like this. And I think back to myself, and I was so misled. A lot of us went through that. I remember talking to some people. I remember them having the same kind of experience with how they feel about themselves. I remember the images on television were never of people of color, and if they were, we were either like cleaning people's houses, or we were, someone's concubine or a side chick or something like that. It was rare to see us in a position like you see us now, right, where we're like the president's wife, or we are heading empires on TV or whatever else, or we're celebrities making all this money. So I had a real battle with, it took a long time for me to learn to love what the Lord made me, how the Lord made me. My fullness, my lips, my full body. This whole thing is naturally how people of women of color really are. Like, this is how we present. This is how God made us. This is how God made me. As a child, I was made to feel ashamed of my big butt and my, whatever else. I came into my body very young. and there was no one to kind of guide me and direct me in relations to protecting myself. I was very naive when I first had my experience, my first intimate experience, and it was taken from me. It wasn't a consensual thing. As I got older, okay, on that note, the relaxing of the hair, I started getting my hair relaxed when I was 8, and it would burn every time. It would burn to the point where I could actually taste like a metal taste in my mouth. And I would have scarring on my scalp for about 2 weeks after the relaxer. And that went on until I was in my 30s. So I was doing that for years. That changed the integrity of my hair texture and everything. It took a while for my hair to become healthy. So let's fast track, okay? There's a few people that hate me for nothing, but I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. But there's one particular person who does not like me. And this person is fair. Her complexion is fair. And she's mixed with, I think, Trinidadian. So she's got like Indian in her or something. And for whatever reason, she's taken it upon herself to find me as being an enemy. And I don't know why. Because according to her standards, she's better than me. And she and people around her that are the same kind of grouping hint to the idea that people of color like me their hair is like picky, or that's a term, or that being dark skin is not beautiful. I'm gonna tell you this, okay? This is just my opinion. Beauty is more than just what you look like. Okay, you could be as handsome, you could be the most hottest guy I've ever seen in my life, and you open your mouth and say one thing and it's a turn off. I see horns and a tail. Okay, to me, what you look like means nothing. I see that the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life have been dark and handsome. Okay, those are the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life. Some of them are because your skin that is uniform. I found that the Lord is just so talented. Mind you, I'm going to say this. I found beauty in all different kinds of colors. I've seen beautiful light skinned people, people who have red hair, freckles, beautiful. I think beautiful is something that is more internal for me. And for us, if we really think about it, right? I know lots of guys and women who have hooked up with someone and thought based on what they look like that this is, maybe inside there and something about them intrigued them. And then as soon as they start to talk or behave a certain way, it's like, whoa, you know? So my thinking has always been to discover, first of all, um, discover the love for myself, discover the love for people of color, of all the different shades of brown, to discover the love of texture of hair, to learn how to love our hair the way that it is. These chemicals that they give us to straighten our hair is killing people. It is not good for us. It's not good for our hair. I'm a living product of that. I took years for my hair to grow the way it needs to grow. It took years for my scalp to heal. I want to read this. I'm going to read your stuff because I think you're knowledgeable. So you cut meat out of your diet. Oh, girl, yeah, we're on so much. You should have a channel. White, light skin, and Caucasian women want tans. We have natural born tans. Yes, girl. You also age. Yes. Well, I'm 56. I'm telling you my age right now. I'm not ashamed of it, and I know I don't look my age. And for almost of my life, I attracted people who are younger, always, always, because not only do I not look my age, but my spirit. I love life. I love people. I will always laugh. I joke. I think that life is too short to be too serious. Although I am serious, but I think that there's humor and light periods in life to enjoy, and I make a point to do those things and to dabble in those things. I go for walks in the park. I try and find cool parks in the community to go to. I run every day. I engage people whenever I go somewhere. I'm not shy at all. There's no one. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you bring to the table. I'm going to engage you. And if you don't want to engage me, that's your problem. You're lost because I know what I bring to the table. Let's see. Yeah, I am. Oh, no, girl. No, no, but because we age beautifully though. You're gonna, based on how you're eating, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna stay stunning, 'cause I'm sure you are. You're, I believe, like they always say, black don't crack. You're gonna stay that way. Yeah, you're gonna have to beat them off with a stick, sweetie. And that's God's design. You know, the melanin that we carry keeps us young. It keeps us young, and God designed it that way, right? He meant for us to, this whole thing that we get old and we get wrinkly and aged is all a part of this whole thing, that the food and what they've done to the food, the hybridizing food, the genetically modified food, the chemtrails, you know, having us sit all day, we don't move, we're at a desk all day, that all that stuff being inside and not where the vitamin D naturally comes from is all designed to age us quickly. It's all, this is what you're seeing me, how I'm looking. People will say, no, what is she doing? What's her life? This is all God. Okay, he pulled me out of the regular stream and have me living this way for a reason. This, all you see here is God. And I think I changed my mind. When I entered myself into some kind of competition, whether or not I get this part, I'm going to show you what my body looks like. I'm going to wear my workout stuff and I'm going to show you my abs because I can see them now. Not now. This thing is supposed to, the voting for this is supposed to start on the 29th, I think the 29th of January. So I'm aiming for that date. When that happens, I'm going to show you what I look like. I don't look 56. I do not. And that's God. That's all God. All his direction and releases on what to eat, to cut out meat, to fast. Fasting is huge. Even though we cut out meat, the vegetables, they're doing things to the vegetables as well. There's nothing we can run. We can't run from anything. The chemtrails hit the trees. My mom has 3 trees in the backyard, and sometimes you can see the drips on the leaves of it being burnt. Good morning. Good morning. And so what, we can't run from what they're doing to the food. And the Lord knew that we would not be able to. That's why he designed our bodies to rejuvenate. Daily. I don't, like, I haven't eaten yet, and I probably won't eat until maybe 4 or 5. Um I try to stretch out periods where, like, Christmas was a mess because people kept on offering me junk. So Christmas was a mess. But the Lord led me to understand that by December, I think it was December 2nd or something, that I had to decide that I'm going to do this and not eat garbage. So not eat certain things. I'm still challenged with it because when you go out there and you're on the road, there's not much you can buy that's not tainted or tampered with. The all fast food stuff usually is tampered with. Like, I'm not eating nothing like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Tim Hortons. I may have coffee. My daughter works at Starbucks. She's a supervisor there. I might have what she wants. Let me see this. I went something very traumatic at a young age. At about 23-year-old, and a 1-year-old daughter suddenly passed. She wasn't ill, no sickness. After coming out of my depression, I stopped worrying. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry to hear that, my dear. You know what, though? I could just tell you're such a beautiful soul. That is such a hard loss, because at your age, when I was your age, I had a daughter. She's still living, and she's absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. But she's not just beautiful aesthetically, but personality wise. She's funny as heck. I mean, she could be a comedian. She's so funny. Although none of my daughters, I don't believe, are for me right now, but I still love them. She's beautiful. I might post a picture of her and I together when today at some point. The picture of her and I together. She looks so much like me, but just prettier. Anyway, I'm sorry to hear that. Um and it's funny, you went through a loss and went through a period of depression, and it's that's okay. There was nothing wrong with going through that loss. I think people are led to feel that there's something wrong with them. I think this is all a big scheme to let people think that if they're going through sadness after a loss, that they're depressed and need to go on medication. No, you need to like accept that you've gone through this loss, grieve the loss, and move on. That's it. That's what we need to be doing. But they've have us convinced that everything requires a pill. Think about that nonsense, that everything that we do needs us to be pacified in some way. No, life is going to happen. We're going to go through losses. Now, your daughter was taken from you at a very young age. But the Lord knew you could, first of all, He knew you could handle it. And He will replace, not necessarily through a child, but He always redeems us, right? He makes it so those losses we can look back and smile and move on. I have daughters who are alive, and I feel like I've lost them. I feel like they're here around me, but I feel like they're not even. I feel like I didn't even have a child. They're whatever's been going on, and the Lord designed it this way, and this is why I had to accept it. At some point it hurt because my previous notion was that um, they're my children, so they'll always be for me. This is the enemy's design to think that, in our minds we're going to think that whatever we have is always going to be here. We're going to go through losses. At times we don't expect to go through losses, and we're going to grieve those losses, but we're meant to grieve them. It's like feel the loss and move forward. You're so strong. And my heart, um no, I don't feel sorry for you. I'm happy for you because you got through it. That's good. That's God. All God. Let me see. You're such a beautiful soul. Oh. I'm sure those two little beautiful daughters are a treasure for you. I'm so happy for you. So I don't know if you have a channel, but it would be cool if you did. You could share your story. So that's awesome. Wow. Well, let's continue to pray for Jamaica. On my WhatsApp, I have Jamaica. Pray for Jamaica still, because I know that it's old news, but it's not old news for them. They're still cleaning up. They're still getting themselves together, and they're still going to have to make a decision about whether they're going to join this smart city thing. It's not going to be. It's not intended to. It's not intended to be for us. It's meant and intended to control the masses. It's meant to usher in the mark of the beast. That's what it is meant to do. Good for you. So Nikki says that they wanted to give her medication. She said, no, I actually made myself busy and going to nursing school. I did graduate and been a nurse for 13 years. And now I'm seeking a way out of the, oh yes, girl. Woo. Wow. It's such an oxymoron, eh? They want to give you medication, but now you're in nursing. How are you? Because I was in nursing too. How are you dealing with that? You're in nursing, but you refuse a medication. I had to leave that. I had to leave. I had to walk away from that because I didn't know at the time why I left nursing, but now I know why he let me learn everything I learned and then leave. Because all the knowledge I have about nursing is partly why I'm so knowledgeable about what they're doing with the food and such. Oh, so send me. Oh, I don't know if. No, that. No, don't feel like a hypocrite. You do. You gotta live. You gotta live. But I know. I know you want out. God has you there for a reason, though. Because if I was still in there, first of all, nurses are very cliquey. They're very cliquey. I remember when I was in nursing, I used to, at the time when I was in nursing, nurses used to spread the bed. They used to do everything, like, bed, bath, all that kind of stuff. And I noticed now when I go to the hospital, visit people, they don't do a dang thing. They sit in the nursing station, and if you don't have someone coming to visit you, you're not getting a bath. You're not getting nothing. It is toxic now. I see this. I could never have stayed. I would not. They would have hated me, and I couldn't change it. So I would have to have left at some point. So it's better that I have left when I did. But when I was in nursing, even when I was in nursing, and there was more of a bedside manner, the nurses didn't like that I put more attention into like patients. Like patients would, they're more than just sick beings. They're emotional creatures. Like people are holistic. So like sometimes patients will be there not well, but they also want to talk. They want to, they want an extra snack, or kind of saying. So I had a patient at one point who used to ring the call bell all the time. And the nurse would be like, let's leave him alone. It's like, hey, I'll keep ringing the bell. And I'm like, he's ringing the bell because It may not because he wants something tangible, but he needs something. When I'm content, like right now, I'm content. I don't need someone to call me. I don't need someone to pour into me. I don't need food. I don't need drink. But if someone brings it to me, I will welcome it. I would love it. I don't need, if I choose something, it's not up because I need it. It's because I want it. And there's a big difference between needing something and wanting something. If someone's in my life, I want them there. I don't need them there. That's huge. So this person in the hospital when I was in nursing, he had a need that wasn't being fulfilled, and it was because they knew they had given him his medication. He had been fed. He had been changed. Like, what the heck does he want? Well, where people are people, and beyond just the medicine and the food, he's sitting in a room that's sterile, white, nothing much in there unless someone brought a plant, and not talking to anyone. Who wants to live like that? These the nurses even though they're going to nursing at the time they went to nursing because they care. I don't think I think they get worn. I think the hours that they spend at in the hospitals is too long. I don't think there's enough put in place to pour into nurses. I think they work and they feel justified to pull away because they work so much hours. Am I wrong? I don't know. Oh, I know. I see. I knew it. So Nikki's saying that they spend 80% of their time charting. Medicare. Oh my gosh. I knew it. I want to follow your channel. I'm gonna try and see. I'm gonna when I hope I can. I wonder if I. Ugh. I don't know if I can get to you when this is done. I never ever see the chat. I don't remember if I can see the chat when I get on there. But if I see the chat, I'm gonna add myself to. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, okay, dear? Because we need to support each other. This is a time where the collective needs to support each other. Yeah. So. How long have I been on for? Almost close to an hour. The snow is still coming down hard, but I need to get back out there. But I'm gonna do another live later, because it's a snow day. I don't have a drink yet. I haven't eaten yet, but I might drink something hot because I am feeling a little bit lightheaded because I am pushing snow. Yeah, it is terrible. It is all about profit. I went to some hospitals. Like I had someone in my life who was sick. When my dad was not well, I went to the hospital too. Actually, I've had a lot of loss. A lot of people died to cancer in the past 15 years. I've been to a lot of funerals. And going to these hospitals, let me tell you something. They are luxury, elaborately put together buildings with restaurants, and like it's absolutely a money making machine, for no doubt. Someone should be ashamed of himself. But the news is coming out that our bodies can rejuvenate ourselves. So in regards to, okay, so maybe later on I'll talk about how, if you wanted to start fasting, what you could do. Because I must say I love food. I do love food, but I know that I'm banking. What I'm putting in my food has to bring something to the table. Vitamins, nutrients, something. I'm not eating like stuff that's not going to do something for me, especially at my age. I need vitamins, I need minerals, I need fiber, I need all of it. And if it's not bringing that, I can't. Although my mind, my emotions, and my tongue would love to grab a chocolate bar. Sometimes. Welcome, Peter from the UK. Welcome. I'm from Connecticut. Oh, South Florida must be nice. And we have all this. You know what? Later on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the snow outside. The snow came up. I'm 5'9", and the snow came up to my knees. My knees. Could dive through it. See, I made one trail out to like where we put the bank where we put the snow, and I said I'm done for now. Done for now. But since I'm not running today, I'm gonna shovel. That will be my workout. I don't know how I'm gonna track my calories if I'm not running, and but it's okay. One day won't kill me. Anyway, I appreciate you guys so much from Florida, from Connecticut. Well, you weren't from Connecticut, from UK. I appreciate you so much, and those of you who are local, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate the likes, the hearts, everything you guys do for me. I so appreciate you. My heart is so filled. Seeing how disgusting the healthcare system is, that's what encouraged me to change my eating habits. I turned 40 years old on a light bulb went off. Eat better, stay healthy. Girl, good for you. Oh, is it freezing? Oh gosh. So Peter's where I'm at. I got it's deep snow here, but you know what? I was raised here, and so I've learned to love the snow. When my kids were little, I always get a sled and we'd find a hill somewhere. And I'm taking advantage of everything. I'm a kid. I'm always gonna be this way. As long as the Lord keeps my body healthy, I will always feel this way about life. And my girls are the same way. They do all kinds of stuff on their own together as a group. They enjoy life. But I'm telling you, the best things in life are free. If I was a child and I had a sled right now, I wouldn't even be shoveling. I'd be dragging my girls down the driveway back and forth. It's just there's so many things we can do, and the Lord has made things so beautiful that we don't even acknowledge and like, recognize. There's so many things. I remember driving with my girls when they were younger and saying, "That's a cool park. We're gonna come back to that park." When we grab they had a bag of sand toys, and when we go to the park, we share it with the kids that were there, and then when we were leaving, the party left with us. I will stay warm, darling. I will. I will be on later on. Um, I'm still tackling how I'm gonna get stuff onto TikTok, but just know if you're watching this on the replay and it's not yours, the sound's not good and it's blurry, it's the platform that's doing it. This is very clear and the volume's fine. So just letting you know. All right, guys, I love you so much. Remember, you are made marvelously. You are a special generation created for this time. You are not a mistake. Birmingham. Yes, you do. If you are of color, especially. Take care, love. I appreciate you being here. All right. Till next time, be blessed. Shalom.